Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends. Bienvenue. We're going to be with the beautiful and charming Karen Smith. Nous allons parler français avec Karen. She's an artist. She's a brilliant and very charismatic lady. She's a true leader in the art world. She was born in a wonderful town named New York, Brooklyn. And then she decided, what's the Brooklyn on the West Coast? It's Oakland. And she really, as an artist and as a sculptor, did an incredible job and really started an organization that you're all gonna love. And I really believe that she's as well not only a true inspiration, but she knows how to listen to her little voice. It's gonna be so cool for all of you to know maybe how to reorientate your path, to craft your direction of life, and maybe to learn with her how to wield, because she wield the hammer. She created this organization and she creates beautiful artwork. So I'm excited to meet an artist, and she loves California, North Carolina, and my favorite African country, Senegal. Woohoo!
Woo!
So Karen, what a pleasure to see you.
Enchanté, mon ami.
Enchanté. And I know you just moved and the wine has not arrived, so we apologize for that, but you've had 69 before, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
So I'm going to have a huge toast to you, to your great move and your continued success. And maybe what you should do, Karen, the first few words should be the description of this French Burgundy 69 sparkling wine. What do you think?
I love sparkling wine. Not only do I love the bubbles, but I love the smoothness of it. And if you could just sniff it a little bit for me so I can just remember. Absolutely. The bouquet.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Yes, the bouquet is my favorite. It's my
Oh, you're
absolute favorite.
amazing. You love the bouquet, huh?
I love the bouquet. Isn't it all about the senses? It's about not just tasting it, but it's about seeing it. It's about inhaling it. You know, for me, that's what life is, really making all my senses come alive in every way possible.
And that's what is amazing about you, Karen. When I first met you, I got so energized, so inspired, so excited, so much wanted to do things. How did it come about to you to realize all that?
You know, it's really funny. I say that I have had many lives.
Yes.
There were times in my life where I felt like I wanted to be an academic. There were times in my life when I felt like I just wanted to be a wife. There were times when I just wanted to be a bum, you know, and just travel the world and experience things. But in all of it, I feel like one of the things that I'm on the planet to do is teach.
Ah.
I really do, in every kind of way. And I've taught in various scenarios. I've taught literature, I've taught creative writing, and now I teach metal fabrication. It's part of why I'm here. And that is what has led me here, the desire to pass on what I have, what I know. I don't have children. And so, you know, as we get older, we think about what impact we want to have, what we want to leave in the world. You know, I think about that. And the way we do that is through younger generations, right? And so that's how I came to it, wanting to pass on things that I have acquired.
That's unbelievable. And I resonate with every word you've said. So let's go through the first, multiple lives. So give us your thought on the idea of having multiple lives, of having had multiple lives, or having been born at a different time. How does it feel for you?
It just is. Like, there is no way to describe it. I feel like I have had multiple past lives, which is why it's okay that I have had multiple lives in this iteration, in this form, in my body. I think we all do. I think that's the blessing of being human. That's what our spirits are. Like we go from one thing to another. And when I was a child, I thought I was going to be a performer, you know, um, and here I am. I don't perform, but I am engaging. I have, everything in every past life, there's something that I bring along to the current life.
And what is the most compelling thing you feel you've encountered in that previous life that is serving you the most today?
I would say the most compelling thing is that I still have connection to those lives. And I'm not
Ah,
afraid anymore. I'm really not afraid anymore to own that. I think there's a way that, when you have this little voice inside you and it says, don't open that door, or, don't go to that party tonight, or that's the person you're going to marry. I think that's real. And I think when we listen to it, it's because we are being guided. We're being guided by our ancestors, right? And I listen to that. I listen to that voice, and it has not steered me wrong ever.
ever. Do you actually believe, in addition to that, and maybe it's totally related, to destiny?
Yes, I absolutely believe in destiny. I don't believe that um, there's only one destiny. Like, I don't believe there's only one love of your life, or I don't believe there's only one way to live. Because again, I'm on, another iteration of my life, but I absolutely believe in destiny. I absolutely believe that um, that things are in divine order. I
Hmm.
absolutely believe that. And I believe it because I know it, because it's real. It's real in my life.
And do you feel that's the life you want to live? The
Yes,
one you're living right now?
absolutely. It is absolutely the life that I want to live. And I'm always surprised. Let me tell you a little story. I'm right now in Durham, North Carolina, and my family is from North Carolina and Virginia, like Southern Virginia, Northern North Carolina area. And I have always hated the South, right? And the only time I wanted to go was to visit my grandmother because I just didn't like it. And now I'm here. And when I got off the plane and I was driving around, I felt so calm and it felt so familiar. I've never lived
Hmm.
in this town before, never. But I feel like completely at home. Like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
That's so cool. I'm um, I'm feeling that often, and I'm feeling as well what many of us, I'm sure, with us tonight, are feeling that great sense of déjà vu.
Mm, hmm
What have you experienced that as well?
I have. And I used to, when I was a child, the first time I experienced it, I said to my mother, haven't haven't I seen this before? And she was like, you couldn't possibly have. And I was like, no. I mean, I knew that it was a thing that I had experienced. And to be perfectly honest, my mother always thought I was her weird child. She always gave me a lot of latitude, and she apologized for me quite a bit because I was very, very non-traditional. Um, but she didn't say, no, you didn't. She just said, okay, my child is different. But yes, I absolutely believe it because there, I feel like there are things that are meant to happen. There are
Mhm.
experiences that we are meant to have. I think that there are experiences that we have had that we have not completed, and that's why they come back around. You know, yeah.
Now, as we talk about path,
Hmm
as we talk about déjà vu, we talk about destiny,
hmm
you have an enormous calling towards a great country that I adore. One of my favorite in Africa is Senegal.
hmm
So would you tell us about that little voice that has been, guiding you to be between the two coasts of the United States and the beautiful coast of Africa?
So I am a metal artist and I create many things with metal, but
Yes.
a few years ago, I had a couple want me to create wedding bands for them, and they wanted them from white gold. And I said, sure. I love, and I love making wedding bands. But it was my first time working with white gold. I didn't know much about the alchemy. I didn't know very much about it, but I said yes. And when I went to bed that night, I literally heard a voice say, "You need to be in Senegal." And so I went, okay. And so the next day I got up and I started looking for schools or, a reason, to go to Senegal, because I had never been drawn to Senegal before. I had been to Africa several times, but I had not been to Senegal. And then that night I went to bed and the voice said, "You are going to go and study with a goldsmith." And I go, okay. And, I there aren't schools to go and study, right? Because the way the practice is taught, it goes from father to son to son. It's
Yeah.
transmitted in that way. And so I reached out to a friend, some present academics, and said, listen, I want to go and apprentice in Senegal. And so they all got together and they were like, do you know that women don't wield the hammer in Senegal like it's a saying? And I was like, no, I don't know that. Like, and do you know that you can't just go to school? Like you have to have somebody train you? And I was like, yeah, I don't know that. And they're like, and do you know that most of the people who do this are Muslim and you're not Muslim and that's
Wow.
a problem? And I was like, yeah, I don't know that. And they said, do you still want to do it? And I was like, of course. And within 24 hours, they have found someone who is a master goldsmith who was willing to let me apprentice with him. I had a place to live. I had the name of expats who spoke English and, helped me with my raggedy French.
Hmm. Yes.
And
Which you speak perfectly, by the way.
oh, you are sweet. And,
Yeah.
and then I went and it was amazing. And when I got there, I
Okay.
think he thought I just wanted to play around a little bit or maybe come on vacation and maybe make a pair of earrings or something. And he got to know me and he was like, oh no, you have to come back. You have to come back for an extended period. And so I spent a total of about 6.5 months working with him.
Wow. Over there in
In my,
Senegal, you spent 6.5 months straight because you wanted to learn the craft.
that's right. I
Well,
was there.
I'm gonna drink to your dream. I love it.
Yes. Take a deep, long sip because it is really a dream come true. A dream that I didn't even know I had.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us more because the wine we purposely selected for you is the Alchemy of Dreams. One of my favorite painting overseeing that I imagine personally overseeing the Napa Valley, the eyes that see and doesn't see but see it all with the clock that stops, as you could see here.
Mm-hmm.
And we chose this for you as the wine symbolizing your story because you did not know and it happened. So I want to raise my glass to you for seizing your destiny and seizing your calling.
Thank
This
you.
is brilliant.
Thank
So
you.
tell us more about how did that come about?
Well, one of the reasons why I love to tell the story, to be perfectly honest, Jean Charles, is that I think so many times we encourage children to dream, but as we get older, we stop dreaming ourselves.
Yes,
We
very
get
true.
to a job and, we decide that we have to do things a certain way for a certain amount of time. And then, and I'm really, I'm really happy that my mother always let me know that I was a weirdo, right? Like she always let me know that I was a weirdo. And in doing that, it really freed me to live the kind of life that I wanted to live. Do you know what I mean?
It
And
made you feel comfortable to be who you were meant to be.
exactly who I am meant to be. And if my life takes a sharp 90-degree turn, I just open to the possibilities. If something says to me, you need to, I pay attention to it. And I love to tell the story because really, I think we should always pay attention to the voice inside of us. It's not wrong. It's a thing that exists to bring us joy, to bring us to our destinies. I couldn't have imagined that at this point in my life, I would be creating possibilities to train young women of African descent in this art form that is not readily available to us around the world, right? Like I couldn't have even dreamed this.
That's the coolest. So explain everyone, because we have friends from all over the world tonight,
Mhm.
exactly what you've created and the purpose of it. Because as I'm tasting wine and toasting your success
Mhm.
and you following your dreams, I think what you've created, in addition to the fact that following your dream is the way to go in life,
Absolutely.
you've really created something amazing. So explain to all our friends, the WWH organization.
We Wield the Hammer. We Will the Hammer is a program that I have decided that I have founded to train young women and girls of African descent in the art and
Yes.
practice of metalsmithing. And by also creating the program, we are we are giving them opportunities for economic freedom, for creativity, um, and for alternatives to I don't know, college or, because not everybody's meant to go to college. Not everybody can afford college. Um, so we are making opportunities to empower young Black women. And one of the reasons why the program is now here in Durham, we're expanding to Senegal. And I actually got a call from someone in Ethiopia who was like, "Would you
Wow.
consider bringing the program here?" Because women hold up the sky. But in so many places, they don't have economic freedoms. When, people have challenges, women suffer the most because the women take care of the house and they take care of the children, and they don't have all the opportunities that men often have. The feminization of poverty is a thing that's really, um, it really sticks with me because I grew up the child of a single parent, and I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's why I created this program, to offer alternatives and to offer access. It's really important because this profession is really not, it's really kind of expensive.
Yes.
It's expensive to learn. If you go to a school or something like that, it's really, really expensive. And that's one of the reasons why women of color, specifically Black women, don't have access. And so my program really creates access and opportunity. That's one of the ways we breed success. That's one of the ways we build community. That's one of the ways that we support the structure of families.
This is so brilliant. You're giving me goose of excitement. Because what you're providing is this unbelievable, typically inaccessible type of work.
Mhm.
And so, what inspires you the most to want to teach those young women? Besides the fact that you are one as well, you're a young woman, a single parent, and tell us more on that, because I'm amazed by your yearnings, your passion, your envy to teach all those young women.
Well, I would say one of the things that really drives me um, is the young women themselves. Young people, especially young women, they are bound by perfectionism, and I think that uh, uh, they are drunk on social media. right? And so they want to be perfect. They want everything to be perfect. And one
Yes,
of the things that's beautiful about working with your hands, right, is that you're using your body, right? And so, like, young women are consumed with their bodies. But you know what? This is your body too, right? And
that's it.
if you can bend metal to your will, what better use of your body is it than that? You know, I like talking to them and helping them understand that there is no such thing as perfect, that the perfection is in the process, that the perfection is building it and shaping it and watching it become what it becomes, right? Um,
Absolutely.
and I get so much from them. You know, people say to me all the time, "Oh my God, Karen, you're so wonderful. You know, you're so committed to young people." I get so much from them. Not only do I get their energy, I get fresh eyes because young people see things very, very differently because of, you know, the world that they live in and how it affects them. Um, because sometimes they're really fearless, you know, in ways that we have trained ourselves not to be. You know, like we have to be staid, we have to be comfortable. You know, young people have some fearlessness that when it rubs off on you, it opens the sky. You
That's
know?
right.
So I am inspired by them. I'm inspired by knowing that young people can make a different choice. They can do something that they never thought they could do. My favorite thing is to introduce them to the torch and watch them go, "Oh my God, I'm afraid of the fire." And then by the time they get comfortable, they're wielding it like a master. You know,
Wow.
it,
I want you to teach me now how to weld. I'm not a young woman, but I hope you'll take me under your wing one day.
you are absolutely welcome to come to any studio that I have, and I will teach you how to work with a torch. But I'm not a welder, right? And so the difference between a welder and what I do is the welder has a giant torch.
Yes,
I have a smaller torch. And welders generally work with iron. I work with precious metal. And so,
that's right. You design well, and let's move on to this topic now because you're an amazing designer and a welder of incredible jewelry and art form that are in precious metal, meaning gold, platinum, copper, all of the above. So you're the next level. It's not that you're going to do the 150 feet sculpture outdoor, but you're going to do like this, a piece of
that's
jewelry.
exactly right. So
I
I'm
lo-
actually wearing sculptural earrings that I created. And
wow.
they were influenced by my time in Senegal. My time in Senegal, there's so many masks. You know, it's just a beautiful spiritual
Yes.
place, and everywhere you look, there's art. Because Senegalese people are not only beautiful, but they are some of the most creative people ever. And I was so inspired by all the artwork, but especially by all the masks, different kinds of masks. And so these earrings and earrings like them have become my trademark, right? And these are sterling and fine silver and
Oh,
18 karat
beautiful.
gold. So this is the kind of thing, you know, I call it my wearable art because, you know, really it takes a lot of creativity, and I use a lot of different techniques in the work that I do.
Well, and which is so cool as you inspire all of us. A lot of people think welding or, you know, all of that, you need a big space, you need an enormous room, you need a lot of equipment.
Mhm.
But you're proving actually that we don't have to.
You don't. You don't. And this is the thing, what you need, and this was the beauty for me for studying in Senegal, because what you need is a torch, you need a hammer, you need a file, and you need sandpaper. Everything else is extraneous. And I have other things, but everything else is extraneous. And the reason why I think the spirit moved me to go to Senegal is because I'm self taught. I did not study this. um, I just decided one day I wanted to work with metal. And I had poor habits. You know, there were things that I wanted to learn how to do, that I taught myself how to do, but not the correct way. And so I wanted to go and learn traditional techniques. And I also wanted to, what I also got from that was that I didn't need all the things that I had longed for. Part of why, I was slowly moving along in my work is because I was like, well, I don't really have that machine and I don't have this machine. And, I know this person who has, this fully stocked huge studio and, I can't. And the truth is, you don't need that. Those things are lovely to have, but they're not necessary.
Totally agree. So now you're a great and fabulous wine drinker and descriptor. I want to, and I feel so bad, that's why we need to imagine that you have the wine in your mouth. As we speak, would you describe for us this Chardonnay that we're having, which is our Sonoma County Chardonnay? And I know you know Sonoma obviously very well.
I
And
do.
this is, and maybe you could choose to describe the wine with the art.
Well, that's the first thing, of course, that caught my eye. The art is just exquisite, which I imagine the label is an indicator of what's inside. I cannot imagine that this wine is not also exquisite. So that's the word I want to use to describe this.
Exquisite. Thank you so much. Now, tell us about the process in art before we go back to the school
Mhm.
of self-taught. You use that word. You felt you had a talent, obviously, which you do, but you self-revelated it. You recognize I can do
Oh, you're frozen.
it and allowing yourself to go for it.
Okay, you got frozen. I missed what you said. Can you just repeat that?
Absolutely. The idea that you self-taught,
Hmm.
but you recognize you were very good at it, and then you went for it. So maybe give us the process so a lot of our friends with us today either will call you for classes and will dare becoming who they're meant to be.
Hmm. You know, it is recognizing that we deserve joy in our lives. And so many times we think that means possessions, right? Like, I can't be happy until I have a house or a fancy car or, whatever. And those things are lovely. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have a fancy car. But like, understanding that as humans, we deserve joy. And creativity brings us joy. Like when we make things, it brings us joy. I want us all, especially women who are my age and older and younger, make sure you have joy in your life, whatever that looks like. When you can create, that is a beautiful thing. When you can use a different part of your brain, that is a beautiful thing. My favorite is I am on the faculty at an industrial arts school in Oakland, and we do something called team bills where like tech companies and they bring in people to build teams, and so
Yeah,
all of them are scientists or they're all tech people, and it's amazing to watch them use a hammer and a torch to create something from metal. And so I explained to them how to use it, and I explained to them how the metal works and what the heat does and how to apply the heat, and to watch them use the other part of their brain. They all go out so happy, even when they create things that they think look awful, right?
that's
They
right.
all go out because it has given them a boost. It's given them, I think, a psychic boost, it's given them a spiritual boost. Like, making is extraordinary, whatever it is. And so this is the thing that I would like. So many times women, we just take one path, And once we get on that path, we go, well, this is how it goes. I am meant to do this thing. I am meant to do that thing. Open up to all possibilities.
I'm totally with you. And who is to say that life is really only one path? And who is to say that life professionally is only one type of job or one type of function?
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of the art world is, you could go in so many different directions from other things. I'm sure you paint, I'm sure you sculpt, I'm sure you mold, I'm sure you design, you sketch, right? I'm sure you do them all.
You know what? I have done so many things. Like I said, when I was a child, I thought I was going to be a performer. So I danced for many years. I acted. Um, I have drawn. I have painted. I have worked with clay. I have done all those things, and I have not been professional at most of those things. But every every artistic thing that I have done has brought me to this point. My writing, I'm a writer, and my writing has brought me to this point. I think it's really important to pay attention to what has to come out of you. And I like to say maybe it's because I don't have children that I have to give birth to so many things creatively,
Yeah.
but I think we all have it in us.
Oh, I love that. And, what is actually your dream?
I still have a lot of dreams, John Charles. One of my dreams actually is to open this program, to open the school in Dakar and Ethiopia. It's still a dream. It's in the works, but it's still a dream. You know, one of my dreams is to live there, and not just set the program, but so that I can live there. I have lived in many, many states in this country, and I have visited 5 continents. One of my dreams is to live someplace else, just to be there. Senegal is a beautiful place. I would love to have a house overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, in Casamance, maybe.
Maybe, or Yoff.
Oh,
Who
yeah, of
knows?
course. Would
I
be
mean, I
amazing.
absolutely love that. I
Talking
absolutely.
about talking about dreams, you've created some magical pieces yourself
Mhm.
and your student. Is there an example you want to show us to for everybody to feel the talent and the incredible growth that someone can have throughout the program?
I wish that I had a picture, but I can tell you that I have a student who, she's my favorite. They all are my favorite. Um, but her name is Adeniji, and she's so talented. And one of the reasons why I love her is that she's just so open to exploring, right? And so, when she was in our program, she made, a ring, she made a butterfly. But since she has left our program, she has gone on to add metal elements to sculptures that she's now producing in paper, you know,
Wow.
and and it's just exquisite, you know.
And
And
what's your favorite piece that you've done? Is it the one we
oh,
see behind you? This is a
that
great work. You've done that one, right?
yes, that is a piece that I call Mamjara, and it is a ceremonial
Yeah.
necklace that is meant to be displayed and worn on sacred occasions. And I love that piece. It also is in sterling and fine silver and gold, and it's huge, and it's just purely for adornment in the sacred, and it's one of my very favorite pieces.
And tell us finally, what is a sacred occasion to you?
Sacred occasions is when we interact with the other side. So sacred occasions for me are births and
Mm-hmm.
deaths and marriage, when we
Yeah.
come together, like like the ritual of of moving forward in this life is sacred to me.
So next time I see you, I hope you wear that beautiful necklace you created, and we'll create a sacred occasion.
I'm not mad at that. Let's talk about it.
Now, tell me about what you think of Cabernet Sauvignon. This is what it is here.
Mhm.
Again, a very surrealist painting, engaging
Yes.
dreams.
Such lovely, lovely paintings. So bold.
Yeah, so when you come to see us, we have them as a triptych, and they're
Mhm.
very cool paintings and with a lot of meanings. So, what does Cabernet red wine means to you?
Red wine for me is really bold. It's really, really, I don't like to use the word strong because that's not what I mean, but bold and full.
Yes.
Red wine for me is bold and it's full and it's just lusty. I like that. I mean, I like it.
Good description. You're getting Dylan all excited here. He's begging for a glass now. Here we go, Dylan. I know you want
Like a
one.
glass myself.
Serve it to everyone. I know. Well, I'm having it for you. So, last moment, because I know you're in the middle of a lot of things. And, dear friends, you got to realize we have an amazing artist with us and an incredible curator for students of an amazing school. So, I want to ask you any upcoming collaboration that you may have that are worth mentioning, or any unique things that you're doing that we should know about?
I have an upcoming collaboration, but I can't talk about it right
Okay.
now because it's still sort of in the unpacking stage.
Yeah, but that's good. So there's many things coming up then.
There are a lot of things coming up, but what's most important that's coming up is that after having been affected by the pandemic, we are ready to reopen. And the last year has for me has been about trying to build up We Wield the Hammer, trying to get support for the program. And we're at the point now because the pandemic is slowing down. Lots of people have finally been vaccinated, that we are looking to open our studios again. And that
Yes!
anything that more than anything has taken up all my time over the last year. In fact, my own work has suffered because I have been laser focused on that. And the long-term success of We Will the Hammer is really dependent on the generosity of people who believe in creativity, who believe in equity, who believe in the arts. And that's what I have been doing. I have been working towards encouraging people to support us.
I love it. Well, I'm so excited for you. This is so much fun.
Yes.
And keep creating new lives like this, from students and their creativity to moving to a new state to having an international program with Senegal and Ethiopia. Phenomenal. So, Karen, I really want to thank you so, so much for being with us today
Thank you for
and
having me.
tonight.
Absolutely.
And I would love for you, if you would be so kind, because you're such a wise and spiritual and sacred lady with a lot of divinity within this body and mind, a
Thank
great
you.
soul. I would love for you to send a message to everybody with us tonight as we're coming out of this, difficult time, of course, but maybe on creativity, maybe on art, maybe on possibilities, on dreams. Take whatever route you wish and give us a big message.
I think the only message that I want to leave with your amazing audience and in general is that kindness and creativity is the way forward. When
Mm.
we are kind to each other, when we show each other, when we acknowledge each other's humanity, that's the way forward. And when we acknowledge it in ourselves, that's the way forward, right? And that's what is important with my students. You know, kindness and creativity is the way forward.
I love it. And humanity, as you added. This is so well said.
Absolutely.
So, Karen, I want to thank you so much. To a wonderful time on the East Coast. We miss you in the West Coast, but we know you'll be back soon.
Absolutely. I'll be back.
And beautiful jewelry that you're wearing, gorgeous earring, fabulous work. I've seen it closely. It's amazing. And dear friends, you will have now the link of the website, the school, and all that, so you could be as well inspired and to make a huge difference, because you know what Karen has done. Followed her dream and make a huge difference in people's lives. So, Karen, thank you. I send you an air hug.
Absolutely.
We'll do it in person very soon.
Absolutely. It is
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. My
Oh,
absolute pleasure.
great honor. Thank you.